What's going on, everybody? Mr. Octagonal here, and today we have a different type of video. It's an NFL mock draft, but not really, because it's Madden's mock draft. I'll probably do another one of these closer to the actual draft itself, but I wanted to do one here about a week before the NFL Scouting Combine to see what Madden predicts will happen. Now, just so you know, I do not agree with most of these picks. If you want to see my personal mock draft podcast series that I've been running, I'll leave the link in the description. Make sure you go check that out if you have not already. Also, we're going to be using Bengals draft class. Once again, I don't personally agree with all of these rankings, but this is one of the only good ones on PlayStation, so you got to take what you can get, and this one isn't bad, so I will take it. The usual names in here. Once again, I don't agree with all of these rankings, but I think for the most part, it does the job, and I think it is pretty solid. So this is also partly what Bengal thinks might happen. Anyway, I wanted to look at a couple players' combines just because I was super curious. Henry Ruggs being one of them. He runs a 4.24. I'm actually really curious to see what he runs. And then Isaiah Simmons, yeah, he's not putting up those numbers. Isaiah Simmons is a freak. He's not running a 4.5. He's not getting a 28-inch vert jump. Come on. No, that's not happening. I'm not saying it's Bengals' fault for making him like that, but Madden, you got to do better. So here we go. The draft itself. Also, the Chiefs and the Niners picks are flipped. I don't know why. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I won the Chiefs. So I don't know why that is, but whatever. As for Bengals with the first pick, do go Joe Burrow. This is one of the few picks I agree with. I think Burrow is the obvious pick here. I don't think he does not want to play for Cincinnati. I think that's smoke. And then the Redskins go ahead and pick Derek Brown. The Redskins do not need interior defensive line. That's the one position on their entire roster that they're set with. Matt Ioannidis, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne. I don't get it. So my Lions are up at third. We could pick Chase Young, Isaiah Simmons, Jeff Okudah, and we don't pick any of them. We pick Tua. I don't want Tua. I don't want Tua Tagovailoa. I don't. I still think Stafford has plenty left in the tank. I think this would be an absolute mistake to pick Tua, and I don't think he's that good of a prospect. Giants go Isaiah Simmons. Dolphins go Jeff Okudah. So Chase Young is falling out of the top 5. Jedrick Willis goes 6. I always say Willis. It's Wills. I have to get used to that. Justin Herbert to the Panthers at 7. Cardinals pick Tristan Wirfs. Chase Young is still on the board. Jaguars, they're going to pick Andrew Thomas. None of these picks outside of the Derek Brown one and the Tua one are terrible, but, come on, with Chase Young on the board. Browns go CeeDee Lamb. They don't need a receiver. Mekhi Becton was on the board. Obviously, they don't need Chase Young, but with his talent, I don't know how he is still available. That blows my mind. I mean, I've seen him fall in Madden drafts before, but past 10? I don't know if I've seen that. Come on, Madden, fix your game. Barring trades, he's not falling past 2, and even if the Redskins trade down at 2, Chase Young's not falling past 3. Jets, who need an edge rusher, pick Jerry Jeudy, who I think is great, but over Chase Young? And then the Raiders, they pick an edge rusher, and it's not Chase. It's K'Lavon Chaisson. What? I think Chaisson is great, but over Chase Young, are you kidding? Colts pick Javon Kinlaw. What? Once again, I think Kinlaw is a really good prospect. Still no. And then the Bucks pick Grant Delpit. And then the Broncos finally pick Chase Young. The Broncos don't even need an edge rusher that much. They got Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, but they said, screw it. He's too good to pass up. Falcons go Christian Fulton. That makes sense. Cowboys pick Henry Ruggs. I like this pick because in the game, they lost Amari Cooper. I think they should re-sign Byron Jones over Amari Cooper in real life. So I don't hate this pick for the Cowboys. And hey, he ran a 4.24. Dolphins pick Jake Fromm over Jordan Love. Interesting. Raiders at 19 pick Mekhi Becton. I think he is a top 5 prospect in this draft. Steal. Jordan Love goes to the Jags at 20. Interesting. Eagles get Patrick Queen at 21. I love Patrick Queen. I just don't think they should pick a linebacker at this point in the draft. Kenneth Murray to the Bills. A.J. Epinesa to the Patriots. I feel like Epinesa would flourish in New England. That just seems like too good of a fit. C.J. Henderson to New Orleans, not bad. Lloyd Cushenberry to the Vikings. I think there are better interior offensive linemen on the board, mainly Cesar Ruiz, but that's not a bad pick. DeAndre Swift to the Dolphins at 26. I think this is a good pick for them, but The Dolphins picking no offensive linemen? That's absurd. And then look at this. Only the Seattle Seahawks. I think Jonathan Taylor is a good prospect, but Seattle picks a running back in the first round again when they have far bigger needs. Have you seen their edge rushing room? Especially if they lose Jadeveon Clowney? Yeah, no. Raekwon Davis to the Ravens, I think that's a bit high for him. He's a late third-round prospect to me. J.K. Dobbins to the Titans. If they lose Derrick Henry, that's a good pick. Damon Arnett to the Packers at 30. Chiefs pick Xavier McKinney, which is annoying because if these picks were correct and the Niners had picked 31, McKinney probably would have been their guy. And now that he's off the board, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go ahead and pick a tight end. I mean, yeah, Madden will do Madden. I had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I had it. But now they're going to pick Bryson Hopkins, and they don't need a tight end. They got George Kittle. They're set. They would have picked McKinney over Hopkins easily, and still, this is a questionable pick to begin with. I think this is too early for Bryson Hopkins, and I mean, let's state the obvious here. They have George Kittle at tight end. So now into the second round, a lot of good receivers on the board. Laviska Shenault, Jalen Reagor, got a few good corners. And Trayvon Diggs, Noah Igbenogany, and then some of my guys, Jeff Gladney, Bryce Hall, are still here. Yetur Gross-Matos is still here. So there's still some talented guys on the board. We're not going to go pick by pick. What we're going to do is we're going to recap the second and third round, and then I want to go team by team. I think that'll be kind of interesting. I'm not going to give everybody a grade per se, but I'll recap every team's draft. So here we go in round 2. Lions pick T. Higgins. I don't agree with that because Laviska Shenault and Jalen Reagor are on the board. But whatever. Madden will do Madden. A few nice value picks in here. Ross Blacklock to the Cardinals. Netane Muti, I really like him out of Fresno State. Justin Jefferson, Cesar Ruiz, Trayvon Diggs, Noah Igbenogany. So certainly some talented guys in here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the Texans, I like that fit. Kyle Duggar, watch out for him. Maybe he becomes a first-round prospect. I don't know. We'll have to see with the Combine. And then Bryce Hall at 63, in my opinion, is a steal. On to the third round, I'd be happy with Terrell Lewis in round 3. Jeff Gladney, I don't know how he is available in the third round. Jalen Reagor, how are those guys third-round picks? Jeff Gladney's going in the first, and Reagor's probably going to be, at worst, he should be high second. Those are... I don't know how those guys are third-round picks. I sound like a TCU thing because I like Gladney, Reagor, and Blacklock. Anyway, team by team, Bears, they get a few nice picks. Bradley Ane in the 5th. That's really a value. That's a good draft for Chicago. Bengals, obviously, Burrow's good. Julian Okwara, that's a nice pick. Outside of that, nothing too crazy. Malik Harrison's a nice selection in the 4th. Bills, we want to get to the Bills. Kenneth Murray, Robert Hunt. Denzel Mims is a nice value pick, but other than that, nothing special. I do like Steve Montez, though. I think he's a decent day 3 option. Broncos got Chase Young. That's all you need to know. Jalen Johnson in the late 3rd. Neville Gallimore, Brandon Ayuk. That might be an A-plus draft. That's incredible. Browns pick CeeDee Lamb. They don't need CeeDee Lamb. Josh Jones. Josh Jones is a weird one. He could be a top 10 pick. He could be a 5th-round pick. I don't know. We have to see with the Combine. Bucks, I think for Reagor pick kind of saves their draft, mainly because they passed on Chase Young. Nyang and Delpit aren't bad by any means, but still not great. Cardinals, look at this draft. Tristan Wirfs at 8. Blacklock, Gladney, and then in the late 3rd, they got Yetur Gross-Matos. I didn't even see him when I was scrolling through the 3rd-round picks. This is an A+. That's an excellent draft by the Cardinals. I don't even care if they pass Chase Young. Chargers really improving the offensive line. Wills at 6. B addition to 2nd round. I think that's too early for him. They also got no quarterback, so I don't agree with that. Chiefs, look at this. Xavier McKinney, Bryce Hall, Cam Akers. They got kind of lucky with Madden being stupid, but that's a great draft for them. Colts, not bad. Zach Bond, Netane Muti. Those are good additions. KJ Hamler in the 6th. He's a 2nd-round prospect, in my opinion. That's a no. Cowboys, Henry Ruggs, A.J. Terrell, K.J. Hill, Jordan Brooks, not bad, but nothing crazy. Dolphins, I don't like this draft. I like Okuda, Jake Fromm, DeAndre Swift, Curtis Weaver. They're all good players, but they have just neglected offensive line. They picked a few here, but they've got to pick one in the 1st round. They have to. Eagles, Patrick Queen, Noah Igbenogany, Nick Harris, Kayvon Wallace, Ben Barch, out of St. John's, Devin Duvernay, Cole McDonald. I like all of those players, but they waited too long for a wide receiver. But I like all of those players. Falcons, that's a pretty good draft. Evan Weaver, Ashton Davis out of Cal. I'm not super high on either of those guys. But Fulton and Jefferson is not bad. Jalen Hurts in the 4th. He's a weird prospect in my opinion. Niners get an F. I understand they only had 1 pick in the first 4 rounds, but they used it on a tight end. No. Giants, Isaiah Simmons, Austin Jackson, Thaddeus Moss. This is a pretty nice draft. Austin Jackson, I like him a lot. Jaguars, Andrew Thomas, Jordan Love, Cole Kmet. Antoine Winfield's nice value. Cameron Dantzler is excellent value. I think they could use their first-round picks better. I think Thomas is good at 9. I don't know about Jordan Love. Jets, they passed on Chase Young and they need an edge, but they did get some good players. Jerry Jeudy's great. I like Cesar Ruiz a lot. Josh Uche, I'm a big fan of. Lions, yuck. I don't want Tua Tagovailoa. T. Higgins with Reagor and Chenault on the board, please no. Amik Robertson in the 4th is solid, but there were better corners available. We just looked at Cameron Dantzler, for example. As I said, I like Terrell Lewis. Kaliki Hudson is very versatile, so I wouldn't be too mad at that pick. But he did say Michigan was better than Ohio State. I'm not a Michigan or Ohio State fan, but yeah, you don't say that. Malaluga, I'm not super familiar with, and then Colin Johnson, I think, could be a pretty interesting project for the receiving core. Packers, Arnett, Justin Madubuike, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Van Jefferson in the 6th. That's a nice draft class for the Packers. They need an offensive tackle, though. Bulaga's not getting any younger, so I don't love that class for them. Panthers, Herbert and Chenault. That's really exciting. Plus Alex Highsmith in the 5th. That's a steal in my opinion. I really like him out of Charlotte. Patriots, phenomenal draft for them again. Troy Pride in the 6th. That's a steal. Kinley in the 3rd is a good pick. Anthony Jennings in the 4th is a good pick. Raiders passed on Chase Young for K'Lavon Chaisson. That's kind of an L. Mekhi Becton at 19 is a great pick, though. And then after that, a lot of linemen. Actually, only linemen the rest of the way on both sides of the ball. Rams, Brandon Jones in the 2nd. I think that's a bit high for him. I think Kyle Duggar was still on the board, so if they wanted to pick a safety, I would have gone with Duggar there. Or Antoine Winfield Jr., who was also on the board. Ravens, Raekwon Davis, that's too high for him. Matt Hennessy, I think that's a good pick. Outside of that, I don't really... Actually, I like Matthew Pert and Jabari Zuniga. Okay, so those are 2 good picks for the Ravens. Matthew Pert has incredible length. Can't wait to see his measurables at the Combine. Redskins get an F. You passed on Chase Young for Derek Brown. Derek Brown has an extremely high floor. He's a really good prospect, but they don't need interior defensive line, and I don't know how you pass on Chase Young anyway. Shane Lemieux, solid. Jacob Phillips, solid. Anthony McFarland, not bad, but yuck. Just because they passed on Chase. Saints, Henderson, Hunter Bryant, Sternberg, A.J. Dillon, not a bad class for them. Next up, the Seahawks. They picked a running back in the 1st round. That's an L. Prince Tagawanahogo, Albert Okwuegbunam. Not a great draft for the Seahawks. This is probably one of the worst ones. This one in Washington. Once again, I don't dislike Jonathan Taylor at all. I think Taylor's an underrated prospect, if anything. But they got Chris Carson. They drafted Rashad Penny super high. He showed flashes. That just doesn't make sense to me. Steelers, I'm not a Jacob Eason guy. I like Jake Fromm a lot better. To be fair, Fromm was long gone, so you can't really blame them. And I do think they should pick a quarterback this year if they get the chance. Texans, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Michael Pittman, Darrell Williams, solid draft. Titans, if Derrick Henry's gone, J.K. Dobbins is a really nice pick. Jake Hansen, Lavert Hill, not bad. I think they need to improve the front 7 a little bit outside off-ball linebacker. Other than that, that's a nice draft for them. And then Vikings, Lloyd Cushenberry, Kyle Duggar, not too shabby. So that'll do it. What did you think of this video? Do you want to see more like this? Let me know in the comment section below. Have a good Thursday. Peace out.